Good morning, everyone. I've teased the concept of a relay bidding system before, and there was a hand from the RBC last night that's perfect for a relay bidding structure. I'm going to walk you through how an auction with that might work. First of all, what I've got pulled up here just above my head on the upper right of the bridge base screen is the traveling score from last night. So you see that if you could get to 7 no trump on these two hands, which I propose we can do using the KK relay structure, um, you'll get all of the match points. If you can bid a grand slam in diamonds, you'll get 90%. You get to 6 no, that'll be 65%. 6 diamonds, that's actually where Audrey and I got, was worth 40%. And then not getting to slam is going to be 30% for 3 no, 15% for 5 diamonds. And then it looks like there was one pair who had a whoops and ended up in 6 spades for a 0 for not getting plus score on this one. So without further ado, what we're going to do is walk through some of the concepts of relay structure and what the bids mean in English. Obviously, you're not supposed to know this stuff. This is a completely foreign language. What I am hoping is that you will appreciate the power, perhaps, of a relay structure, the power of the idea of one hand asking and the other telling. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cover this up at this point now that you've seen the Traveler. And we're just going to annotate what the bids mean. It's going to be easier using this notepad than using the BBO screen and self-alerting. It just gets kind of messy. So we'll use the notepad to show you what the different bids in the auction mean. And we'll talk a little bit about the idea of the relay structure. Okay, so South is going to pass here. And East will pass. South will open 1 club. And what that is meaning is that I have 16 or more high card points. I could have any distribution under the sun. This doesn't say anything about clubs. Okay, so let's start with this 1 club by South. And what that means is any hand that has at least 16 high card points. And even if you're not using a relay structure, I would challenge you when you're working on your bidding to put words to what it is that you think you are saying and practice with your partner to make sure you're on the same page. And to do this exercise, like you really need to, you can't use vague terminology. I want you to put numbers. I want you to put shapes, exactly what the bids mean as far as a strength and a pattern showing. Okay. So 1 club by South is I have any hand that has at least 16 high card points. And it goes past to North. And the most important information that North needs to convey, first of all, is whether he or she has enough to force to game opposite 16 high card points. If you don't have enough to force to game here, normally what we do is bid 1 diamond, okay, which leaves all the other bids to show I have game forcing values and something about your hand. So here we have 13 high card points as North. We're definitely going to bid a positive response is what it's called. We're going to skip past 1 diamond and we're going to start talking about what suits we have. Okay, so if we think about the 2 rolls in this auction, once we've determined South has a good hand, 16 or more, and North has enough to force to game, what's going to happen is that North is just going to describe what his hand pattern is. And South is going to, each time it's his turn to bid, use the cheapest step to ask North for more information about her hand. Okay. The first thing that North is going to do here to convey that she has a positive response and she has spades is to bid 1 heart. And what that says in English: game forcing opposite your 16 plus at least 4 spades. That's all that 1 heart means. Okay. And what's going to happen after that is each time it's South's turn to bid, if he knows where to place the contract, he'll do that. But otherwise, he'll just use the cheapest step to keep asking questions. So on our notepad here, I'm not going to write asks every time it's South's bid, but know that that's what it means. Okay. So it goes past. South used the cheapest step to ask more information about North's hand. And the next thing that North wants to say is, I have hearts. Hearts is the second most important suit. Spades is the most important suit. Hearts is the second most important suit. It's the suit we talk about second. And it should probably not come as a surprise that we're going to use the cheapest bid here to say, I have hearts also. At least 4. So he bids 1 no trump. South uses the cheapest bid available to ask more. And what North is responsible for now is saying a little bit about the relative lengths of his suits. Okay. And anytime he has at least 5-5 shape in 2 suits he's talked about, the bid is going to be 2 spades. And this says, I have at least 5-5 shape. So let's go ahead and bid that. South uses the cheapest step. North wants to complete his pattern here. And what we're going to do is say whether we have unique shortness, which we do here, we have unique diamond shortness, or whether we have equivalent shortness. And when we have unique shortness, we're going to say whether it's the higher ranking suit or the lower ranking suit. Okay, so here diamonds and clubs are the remaining side suits. We have unique shortness in the higher ranking suit. And it turns out there is a bid for that. And it's just the next step. So 3 clubs here says, I have unique shortness in the higher ranking suit of diamonds. So let's talk about what some possibilities for North shape are at this point. Certainly the most frequent shape, the shape we actually have here, would be 5-5-1-2. We could also be 5-5-0-3. When I put the equals signs, that means I'm going spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs, order. We could also be 5-6-2-0. That would fit everything that North said about her hand at this point. We could be, 5-6-0-2. We know that diamonds are uniquely short. We could also be 6-5-0-2. And that covers it basically. Those are the 4 shapes we're worried about. The relay system, when we've shown at least 5-5 in 2 different suits, doesn't account for the possibility of like a 7-5-1-0 shape or an 8-5-0-0. Its cap is at 6. So these are the 4 possible shapes at this point. Notice that you can't have something like 5-6-1-1 because that doesn't have unique shortness. So at this point, we are narrowed down to these 4 possibilities. South's next step will ask, which of those do you have? And we'll start with the most common. Okay, the most common is 5-5-1-2. That's what we have. So North's 3 heart bid here says, I have the most common shape relative to what I've said so far. Here, precisely 5-5-1-2. So now we know the exact shape. The next thing we want to know about is aces and kings. And it turns out the most efficient way to find out about that is to ask partner for his control count. Controls are 2 for aces, 1 for kings. And we're just going to say, add your ace king points. Okay, 2 for an ace, 1 for king. How many of those do you have? South will use the cheapest step. North says, I have 2 aces and 1 king. That's 5 controls. We're going to break my responses into, and this is just like answering key cards, like answering when partner bids Blackwood. The first step is going to be 0 to 2. The next step is going to be 3. The next step is going to be 4. And the 4th step, which is what we've got here, where my camera's messed up, 4th step shows 5 controls. Okay, counting aces as 2 and kings as 1. So the 4th step here is 4 hearts. 3 no would be the first step, 4 clubs would be the second step, 4 diamonds the third step, 4 hearts the 4th step. So 4 hearts by North says, I have 5 controls, where aces count as 2 controls and kings count as one control. And let's take a break here and see if how much South knows about the hand here. Okay. He knows the exact shape. He knows it's 5-5-1-2 in that order. And he knows that there's 5 controls. Well, the only way that there could be 5 controls is that there's 1 king and 2 aces. We don't know whether partner has the king of spades or the king of hearts yet, but we're about to find out. I am going to write out what we know about North's hand at this point. We know he's got the ace of spades 5 times. We know he's got the ace of hearts 5 times. We know he's got 1 diamond and 2 clubs. Okay, so from South's perspective, that's what North's hand looks like right now at a bare minimum. South will use the next step to ask for more information. And specifically, what he wants North to do here is talk about his ace-king situation in the higher ranking of his 2 longer suits. So this 4 spade is a relay. It's specifically asking, what's the situation in spades? I want to know about the ace and the king. And it turns out North's response is going to be 4 no trump. And we'll talk about what it means in English. 4 no trump is I have either. It's easier to say. I have both or neither of the ace king of spades. At this point, like South knows that it's both, right? Because he already knows about the ace by inference. We now know that there must be the king. And we also know that that's it on partner's kings, right? Because he already said he had 5 controls. So the hand is starting to come into focus pretty tightly for South here. Ace, king fifth, ace fifth, singleton diamond, 2 small clubs. Let's get some more information out of partner. It turns out that 5 clubs, although South already knows what the ace king situation there is, the next step asks responder or teller is what it's called, the one who's describing the hand. Notice that South hasn't described his hand at all here. Like for all the opponents know, for all his partner knows, he can have basically any combination of 13 cards that has 16 high card points in it. We know not a thing about South's hand here. He's just asking questions. And then when he's heard enough, he's going to place the contract. So this 5 club bid here says, okay, you told me about your higher ranking long suit. Tell me about the ace king situation in the other suit. So if when we asked about the first suit, the first step said neither or both, I bet we're going to use the second step to say I have 1, either the ace or the king. That's what 5 hearts is here. 5 hearts. I have either the ace or the king of hearts. Now, a concept that we're going to use in relay structures is called zoom. So anytime we say yes to one response, like yes, I have either the ace or the king of hearts, we are going to go to the next question that partner is going to want to know about. Talk about what that is in a second, but I want to establish with you guys that zoom is already something you're used to. If you play 1430, anytime you have 2 key cards, you answer the next question you answer the next question along with saying how many key cards you have. So thinking about 1430, if 4 no trump is 1430, 5 clubs says 1 or 4, 5 diamonds says 3 or 0. We could just make it that 5 hearts is 2, but what we do instead is answer the next question as well. 5 hearts is 2 without the trump queen, 5 spades is 2 with the trump queen. We are going to use the same style of thinking here. And 5 hearts is going to be, I have either the ace or king of hearts. I know that the next thing you're going to want to know about is the queen of spades. I don't have it. What do you think would happen if North did have the queen of spades? He would bid the next step to say, I do have the queen of spades. I don't have the queen of hearts. What if he had both of them? He would bid the next step to say, I have the ace or king of hearts. I have the queen of spades. I have the queen of hearts, but I don't have the queen of clubs. It just goes on and on. Again, not important that you know exactly what all the words mean. I just want you to realize like some concepts in vocabulary and language, in sentences, in communication that we're taking advantage of here to have the most efficient auction possible. Okay, so at this point, going back to what South knows about North's hand, we can place the ace, king, fifth of spades still. We know there's no queen there. We can place the ace, fifth of hearts. We know there's no queen there. Why is all this important? Well, if we're counting tricks, like South has 7 diamond tricks, 2 club tricks, the ace, king of spades, and the ace of hearts. Okay, we're at 12 tricks right now for no trump. So we're going to bid at least 6 no trump. What we're trying to find is like either the queen of spades or the queen of clubs. One of those cards would let us count to 13. So let's make one more ask. Remember that 5 hearts here has said, I have either the ace or king of hearts. I don't have the queen of spades. We can use 5 spades to ask about the queen of hearts. North is going to use the first step available to say, no, I don't have it. South already knew that. So 5 no says, no queen of hearts. And the last relay here is going to get to what we really want to know. 6 clubs asks, do you have the queen in your doubleton suit? We've already talked about the aces and kings in your 2 long suits. We've talked about the queen in both of your long suits. Tell me about that third longest suit, your doubleton. Okay, I know you've got a doubleton club. Do you have the queen of clubs? And North will say, aha, I do have the queen of clubs. So I'm not going to bid 6 diamonds. The next thing that happens is you talk about jacks in long suits. So it turns out that 6 hearts is going to be, I've got the queen of clubs. But no jack of spades, the higher ranking of our longest suits. So pause here for just a second. And let's think about the order here. We talked about the ace or king in the longest 5 card suit. Then we talked about the ace or king in the second longest 5 card suit. Then we started talking about queens, and those went spades, hearts, clubs. And now we would be talking about jacks. Okay, so 6 hearts says, I've got the queen of clubs, don't have the jack of spades. And at this point, going back to this picture of partner's hand, we know that this club is the queen. When we mentally add that to what is in our hand, we can count 2 spade tricks, 1 heart trick, 3 club tricks, 7 diamond tricks. That's 13. We don't need a trump suit. 7 no trump scores higher than 7 diamonds, and we can just bid it. Isn't that cool? I realize that's kind of a lot, but if we like maximize this at this point, let's just quickly look at what happened. We established that one hand had 16 plus. We established that the other hand had enough to force to game, opposite 16. And then we had the following conversation. South, the big 7-5 hand, never revealed what his hand was, other than that it was strong. Okay. What North said going down the line all at once here, I'm just reading off what the notepad says here, is I have a game force with spades. I also have hearts. I have at least 5-5 shape. I have unique diamond shortness. I have exactly 5-5-2-1 shape. I have 5 controls where aces are 2 and kings are 1. I have both or neither of the ace, king of spades. I have either the ace or king of hearts. I don't have the queen of spades. I don't have the queen of hearts. I do have the queen of clubs. I don't have the jack of spades. We were able to ascertain all that information using a relay structure. Partner is able to pinpoint this precise hand and puts the 7 no trump card on the table for all of the match points. Okay, isn't that cool? Anyway, that's your more than you ever wanted to know about relay systems talk for the day. Wanted to give you that little bonus because Collins and I have been working on this system. I sent him a text this morning to let him know, hey, hand 2 from last night would have been, perfect for practicing our new system. And we would have actually been able to assuming we assuming we remembered all the bids. And like, trust me, I am not a memory person, and it's all pretty intuitive. Okay. If you just remember like what the important questions are and what the order of the questions are, it turns out to not be all that complicated. The important thing is we would be able to get all that information. Good luck doing that in a standard auction. Okay. It was a lot of the auctions were pretty tortured, including ours, where we, stopped in 6 diamonds. And perhaps you would be able to reason out that there were 13 tricks available in 7 diamonds or 7 no trump, or you'd be able to make an educated guess. But with relay, you know exactly what partner's hand is. As soon as you do, you put 7 no trump on the table and you open up your bag of match points and scoop in all of them. I hope you guys have something fun planned for the weekend. Have a great weekend. See us on Sunday night for Speedball RBC, and see us again at the tables next week for some more virtual bridge. All right. Hope you enjoyed this one on relay bidding. Talk to you guys soon.